Welcome back. We are in summer and we want to stay here, right? It really is the very best of what our business can create and the best of happiness and joy for us as professionals and as people who are creating things in the world. So once we're in summer, we want to stay in summer. And so how do we do that? Well, the very first thing that we do is we nurture where we are. Right? We want to nurture the garden that we are creating, that we are managing, that we are growing, because we don't want to do anything that allows us to feel the feelings that push us back to winter. We don't want to feel the burdens of inadequacy or shame or disappointment and have that be enough to drag us back into fall or winter. We don't want that. We want to be in summer and we want to stay in summer. And so we nurture summer in our business. Now on this chart, there are two different categories. On the top, we have things I can do to stay in summer. And then on the other side, it's how does this action bring me deeper into summer and my business brilliance? So the first example here I have, one thing I can do to stay in summer is make my CEO meetings non-negotiable, right? I will show up on my set time every week. I will absolutely be there. I will work on my business. So I will look at all of the things that are the umbrellas above my business, my finances, my legal implications, my technology solutions, my marketing, my strategy, my networking, my sales funnels, all the things that are the envelope around the business core that I run. And how that helps me stay in summer is it allows me to strategize my next steps, track my key performance indicators, and identify people I need to connect with next week. So by having that CEO meeting, I get to do all of those things. And those things are summer inducing. Those are absolutely ways that I stay in summer. Another example is that I focus on tasks and projects in my zone of genius, right? That is absolutely a way to stay in summer, is I do the things I am really, really good at. And then how that brings me into summer and keeps me in my business brilliance is that I get to deepen my expertise, I do what I love, I provide solutions and create transformations for my clients. And when I create transformations for my clients, it is the greatest moment of summer when they say, Leanne, what you have created has changed my life, my family, my business, my love relationship, whatever it is that we've worked on. That is absolute summer for me, right? So when you think of it in your business, I want you to think about how can you nurture the things that you do to stay in summer. And every business is going to be different. How you nurture your business as a landscaper is very different than how you nurture your business as a photographer, which is very different than how you nurture your business if you're a personal chef, right? All of those things are very different. So this is how you get to take a look at your business and say, in my business, how can I nurture summer? And on the next slide, I break it out into categories for you because sometimes summer feels very big. And sometimes the path to summer holds a lot of winding roads and we're not quite sure what's around the bend. So let's just put it right out in the open. Like, what does bring you to summer in all of these areas? When you are working in your business, which is doing your business, if you are a photographer, you are taking the pictures. If you are a landscaper, you are landscaping. If you are a personal chef, you are cooking, right? Those are in your business jobs. That is what your business does. So what do you do in your business that is absolutely summer bringing? Absolutely summer bringing. So write that in this column. What can you think of in your finances that can bring you to summer? Now, this is not where you feel inadequate. This is not where you feel unworthy. This is not where you poke holes in yourself and say, oh my goodness, I am terrible in all of these things. I'm challenging you. Find the thing in your financial wheelhouse where you're like, I can do that. Even if it is, I can collect all my receipts and put them in folders. That's awesome. I can record all of my mileage in this app. Fantastic. Find something in summer, because what happens oftentimes is something will happen and then we think globally. Oh my gosh, I am not good at anything. And I want you to nurture summer in every area of your business, because I want you to recognize something cannot be going well here, but you can count on summer being here, right? So this makes this very small, because remember, what we focus on gets bigger. So if you make a mistake somewhere or something doesn't work out right and you are staring at it and thinking about it and talking about it and it's getting bigger and bigger, it actually squeezes out some of these other things. And I don't want that for you. I want you to know that on this list is how you nurture summer in every area of your business. So the next one is sales. What in sales are you amazing at? Even if it's just writing down somebody's name at the farmer's market, or even if it is just giving an invoice at the end of the service. Whatever it is, it could actually be a whole sales call. It could be conversion. You could be a sales master, right? But even if you're not, there is always something you can do in this area to be proud of and to know that you can go back to summer and say, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. The next one is marketing. Are you really good at sharing things online, putting up graphics, putting up really well-written posts, sharing videos of you doing your business? Like, what if you are a dance teacher and you show videos of you teaching dance? How amazing is that? And you're amazing at that? That is a summer-inducing activity in your marketing column. So yay you. And what else brings you to summer in your business? So this column is really for things that I didn't include in the top ones. It could be something in any category. You can decide, but the point of this activity is really just to say, where is summer for you right now? Without you doing extra things, without you paying for extra things, hiring other people, outsourcing any projects, what can you bring to your business that is summer inducing today? Because it's really important when the storms are brewing, when things are starting to bubble, that you can come back and say, oh, no, that might be a little bit what I wasn't expecting, but look, I can do this. I can put up dance videos every day, and I can build my visibility, and I can showcase that I am doing all these different dance styles. So when I launch my dance program in 3 weeks, people are already comfortable with me being a dancer. They've already seen me dancing with lots of different people in lots of different dresses, in lots of different styles. So it's not a stretch, because summer for me is dancing. So I will showcase that, and that's just glorious. I almost wish I could dance now. That would be such a fun business. This next slide is really kind of harnessing the power of that list we just created. And it is identifying your bliss list. Now, I have this bliss list in all of my books, and when you're working with kids, for example, it's very easy for them to come up with their bliss list, or even for parents, right? They'll say, oh, I just watch my child play and I'm laughing and it's the best thing ever. So very true. However, in business, it is even more challenging for you to understand what brings you joy, because bliss is the very best it could be. So when we're talking about summer, what is it in your business that you can see that brings you happiness? Maybe it's a completed order form for one of your crafts that you have created, right? What if it is an invoice that your clients have paid? What if it is actually you creating your art? What if it is you creating a template and giving it to another business owner and they personalize it and put it out into the world? So your template was the foundation that they could build their business on, and now they're doing great things. Whatever it is you can see in your business, put that here. And then all of the other senses, what you hear. So maybe that's testimonials, maybe it's actually people talking about you, maybe it's you speaking at conferences and people giving you positive feedback. What you taste. This might be a little bit tough for some entrepreneurs, but for others it will fit perfectly fine. So think about this, if it's relevant for you, but even if it's not, like what if you taste Your favorite bottle of champagne after reaching one of your goals, right? You set a huge goal, a revenue goal of $50,000, and you reach that. Oh my goodness, the taste of the honey champagne on your tongue, and oh, that is palpable, right? You can taste it. It's so close to you. This is the very best it can be in your business. So even if it isn't directly tied to your business, you can still bring in all of your senses to experience summer in your business. Because your business is not just you doing your business. It's not you just taking the photos, right? Running a business is a whole package of everything. And so celebrating is one of those for sure. Things you touch, things you smell, and things you remember. Roll out the last 3 columns. So really, when you think about your bliss list in your business, I want you to remember, what brings me to summer? That's all it needs to be. It can be summer in any way. It could be how you feel, what you think, what you hear, testimonials and referrals back. It could be other people talking about you in the industry. It could be you being published in a magazine or you publishing your own book. It could be you put out a video and people said it was really good, right? It could be any of those things. I want you to harness them, because when the winds blow and you forget what makes you happy, why you're even in business, what you're even doing, I want you to come back to this. And I want you to say, oh, I remember the feeling of standing on the stage, saying my story and having everybody stand up in a roaring applause. That memory was the greatest it could ever be, right? And you're immediately brought back to that moment. You are immediately on that stage, in those shoes, in that outfit, looking out at that crowd, right? Your mind is powerful. So don't discount any of these as being fluffy. No, our senses grind into our soul the seeds that we want to plant. We actually need to take out the seeds we don't want anymore, but we want the seeds that we want to get plugged so deeply that the waters and the winds can't blow them away. Anchor them in our soul, right? Anchor your experiences deep. And I think that you will be able to nurture summer and stay in summer in your business much longer. Please continue to work on this worksheet, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.